My top 5 Star Wars capital ships. For clarification, as capital ship, I'm defining as any ship that is capable of carrying multiple smaller ships or shuttles, starfighters, that kind of small ships, and also capable of, in a large dockaway, holding a ship like the Tantive forward. Some ships I have excluded under this because they're not big enough in my opinion. They're too small. They're more of a they're between a shuttle and a capital ship, like a Star Destroyer. Think of a ship of the line, the main ships in the fleet. So for my number 5 pick, I went with the Subjugator-class heavy cruiser. The best known Subjugator-class heavy cruiser in canon is the Malevolence, which was General Grievous's flagship until it was destroyed. Not only is it a cool design, but it has a big ion cannon on it that can destroy, impale the electrical systems of multiple ships. It's a pretty cool ship. Though there are some problems with it, like a big empty space in the middle for a rail car, a hover car system, whatever it is. It's kind of weird, but I guess it makes some sense if a ship's so big. You need somewhere to get around. Though in the episode it did seem a bit plot convenient that it was used in, but it is a very cool design. For my number 4 pick, I went with the Executor-class Star Destroyer. So tell me, do you prefer it as A, Executor, or B, Executor? Let me know in the comments giving the letters I give. A for Executor and B for Executor. Better known as a Super Star Destroyer or Vader's flagship. I'm going to call it a Super Star Destroyer throughout this video. It's huge, humongous. This picture is showing a size comparison with an Imperial-class Star Destroyer. The Imperial-class Star Destroyer isn't even bigger than this section right here. It's like 3 of those make up just this little back area of it. So it's huge, humongous. It's practically a flying city. What else can I say? It's also Darth Vader's flagship. That's cool. And the way it went out. A single A-wing pilot just flies into its bridge and then it loses control and crashes into the Death Star. Anticlimactic, but this isn't so neat. A suicide one was what it took to bring the ship down. More than I can say about the Malevolence, which was just, we're going to go in and sabotage its hyperdrive. Its nav computer, its navigation system, so it flies into a moon. Like, really? For my number 3 pick, I go with the Mon Calamari Cruiser. Now, just so you know, there are 3 different types of Mon Calamari Cruisers. Actually, specifically 2 different types: the MC-75 Star Cruiser and the MC-80 Star Cruiser, of which there are 2 variants: the Liberty type and the Home Run type. So this right here, as introduced in Rogue One, is the MC-70 Star Cruiser. In Rogue One, the one given to us was the Profunity, I believe. Sorry about that. Was the Profunity, which is what is pictured here. And then in Return Jedi, we received the MC-80. There was the Liberty type, most famous being the Home One, Admiral Akbar's flagship. So now these are very neat. Especially all of them are very organic in design, and this kind of neat. Like, you wouldn't expect them to have the combat abilities they do. And originally they didn't, because in Star Wars Legends, and I believe also Star Wars canon, they were converted passenger ships, which you can see particularly with the MC-75 Star Cruiser, the Profunity, because of where the bridge was located. Like, that's where you put in your bridge, it's so exposed. But it makes sense if it was a converted Starliner, which these 2 ships I believe also just converted. Like, these just shows the ingenuity of the Rebel Alliance, that they converted civilian ships into military vessels for their fleet. which gave them the needed capture ship firepower. For my number 2 pick is the Imperial-class Star Destroyer. So I'm including both the Imperial 1 and the Imperial 2 class Star Destroyers in this category just for the broad Imperial-class Star Destroyer. Pretty much, it's the second ship you see in A New Hope. You see the Talented Foe, and then you see the Imperial-class Star Destroyer Devastator, I believe it is. But anyhow, so they're just iconic with Empire. It's just, well, they're there. They're pretty intimidating. They're very hard to land in Star Wars Battlefront 2. If you ever play that game, these are probably the hardest ships to land your fighter inside the docking bay. But anyhow, just kind of very iconic design, intimidating. Though maybe not as intimidating as Starfighter's flagship and Superstar Destroyers are, but it is intimidating to face against in a video game. And now a few honorable mentions. I only have 2 of them: the Providence-class Cruiser Carrier, as pictured here, and the Resurgent-class Star Destroyer, as pictured here. So the Providence-class Cruiser Carrier is best known as its role as Count Dooku and General Grievous' flagship in the opening scene of Revenge of the Sith. The ship pictured there was featured there was the Invisible Hand, which Anakin and Obi-Wan crash land on Coruscant. Mineral lost without actually damaging any of the city. Pretty good. And this, was a very neat fighter in Star Wars Battlefront 2, because you could literally fly your ship through the hangar, in and out on both sides, which can be useful in some battles. And then the Resurgent-class Star Destroyer, it's a Star Destroyer of the First Order. It's actually pretty cool. It would have probably made my number 1 spot if it wasn't for one thing. It's only really being featured in The Force Awakens. It could change after I see more in the sequel trilogy, but it incorporates a lot of stuff from my number 2 pick and then also my number 1 pick. My number 1 pick being the Venator-class Star Destroyer. Some of you probably were expecting perhaps the Imperial, but you saw that's my number 2 pick. Or even some of the other ships. But this one, I think, is my favorite Star Wars ship for a couple of reasons. One, it's very neat. It's not like intimidating. It's intimidating, sure, but it's not like the same as the Imperial, which is like the might of an empire. But it's the might of a republic. It's like seeing pride in you're an ally, of course, a U.S. aircraft carrier destroying by your shore. You see it and you cheer unless you're the enemy. Then you want to attack it. But anyhow, it's the flagship of the fleet, the big guns, the ship you associate. When you hear in Star Wars, the Republic name is associated with the Venator-class Star Destroyer, also called the Republic Attack Cruiser in Star Wars Battlefront 2, and also referred to oftentimes in the Clone Wars TV series as a Jedi Cruiser. So it's, of course, very iconic and very well known. And it's Star Destroyer, but it also is also a carrier, can carry lots of starfighters because of the big flat deck it has, as the red stripe is showing where it opens up. The Imperial could carry some, but not as much. And then the Resurgent-class Star Destroyer took cues from this, making a hybrid cruiser and a hybrid carrier and destroyer. That's essentially what the Venator was. You see it, it's iconic. It's not as necessarily imperial or intimidating, but it's grandiose. It's a sure might, but it's what's the word? It's just cool looking. So there you have it, my top 5 Star Wars capital ships. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and leave a comment down below. Share with your friends
and subscribe to my channel for future content. I upload regularly on Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday, and semi-regularly on Tuesday and Friday. Check me out on Facebook, Twitter, and Google+. Support me on Patreon. Check out my Google site. Feel free to check out any of my other YouTube channels, the Art and History channel, John Berry, and Johnson Berry. Feel free to check out the video in the playlist on the screen. Have a good day or good night, wherever you are. Have a good one.